Welcome back to Origami Snowman. My name is Matt. I was gone for a few days. And I know I was gone for a few days before the few days that I was gone, but these few days were different few days and it was a different gone. It was a like a properly gone, like not like there were too many people in my house for me to make videos gone, but I wasn't in my house gone. Does that make sense? I was at a wedding in Virginia. And I'm telling you, that Virginia is, or at least the part of Virginia I was in, it was a very different place than my home. Which, I don't know, it's a strange idea. It's a strange thing to be surprised by, a strange thing by which to be, whatever, it's fine. Of course, it's not your home. It's not like your home. Nothing is like your home. That's why home is so nice, because it's the only place like it. Does that make sense? Great. But it's I like home. I like my home. I like being in my home. I like the things that are in my home. I like the people that I associate with my home. And so being away from home it's uncomfortable for me. My wife likes travel. She likes the idea of going places and seeing things and doing things that are different. I struggle with anxiety, and so being away from home and traveling sometimes can be problematic for me. And I think it's important that I think it's important for my job. How's that? For my job, that I acknowledge how difficult it can be to be away from home. Because my job is to collect children from their homes and escort them to a place that is not their home, nor is it really anything like their home. I take kids to school where they will be faced with a number of expectations and requirements that they may not be comfortable with or even able to attain. So, like, teachers want them to do this. Okay, fill out this form and get it back to me, and I'll tell you if you filled it out correctly. And if not, I'm going to give you a shame mark on your paper. And that can be stressful for some kids. Any form of failure, any form of correction can be seen as detrimental to their image of self, because until you told them, they thought they were fine. Until you told them otherwise, they thought everything was okay. I thought I was doing fine. I colored a picture, Mom put it on the fridge. I thought I was a good kid, but I wasn't able to figure out these fractions, and you gave me the shame mark, and now maybe I'm not the good kid I thought I was. Maybe Mom's fridge, maybe that's not good enough, And so these kids are going to this place, and they're faced with uncertainty and maybe a lack of acceptance. Maybe their peers hold them to a different standard. Maybe they wore the wrong shoes. Maybe their hair was dirty. Maybe, their shirt was on backwards. Whoops. Oh no. Shirts are hard. It happens. And maybe those kids made that child feel less loved because of something that perhaps was out of that child's control. Okay. Now, I have to be able to recognize that sort of anxiety of leaving home and understand that maybe some of the kids' behavior is a result of that anxiety. And I need to not take it personally, and I need to not judge it harshly, and I need to correct it gently. And so I think me being anxious about leaving home, most of the time I am. Most of the time there's a certain discomfort, a certain I'm not always super excited to go places. And I think when I see that in a kid, I can meet them where they are. And instead of saying, "Oh, you shouldn't feel that way," and I will say I do that. And I'm trying not to. You shouldn't have those feelings. You shouldn't have those fears. Those aren't valid. What I should be saying is, I understand that you feel that way, and I get it. It's scary. What you're about to face, this uncertainty, is scary. But I want you to know that I'm going to be right here waiting when you get done. So you're going to come out of that school and you're going to get right back on this bus, and I'm going to be here, and I'm still going to like you. Whatever shame mark you got, whatever standard you didn't live up to that made the kids laugh, I'm still going to like you, and nothing will have changed between us. I don't think I would be able to see the kids' needs this way if I also didn't have those same needs. Like, if I didn't feel the same anxiety, I might be that guy who's like, "Oh, no, what? It's school. What's the big deal? Oh, third grade is so hard." Yeah, third grade is hard. It's the hardest thing they've ever had to do. Now, when they're like going off to boot camp, third grade won't seem so hard. But guess what? They've never been to boot camp. Third grade is their boot camp. Third grade is the hardest trial they have ever had to face. And it's okay for them to feel like that. So, yeah, Virginia is weird, but not as weird as West Virginia. And I don't know what part of Virginia or West Virginia you're familiar with, but I'm not familiar with any of it. West Virginia. Okay, hang on. Let me. I'm trying to be real, like, diplomatic here, real careful. I don't want to make any absolute statements that are absolutely insensitive or incorrect, but I'm about to. So, Indiana is like, every house is like your friend's house. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's different, but in ways that you understand. Like, they have a different TV, or their house is laid out differently, or instead of keeping their cozy blankets piled up on the couch or on the floor near the couch or within reach of the couch, they have a cool basket that they put all the blankets in, when they're not being used, right? It's tidy in different ways. It's comfy in different ways, but it all feels like just this side of familiar, so it's acceptable. Ohio is your cousin's house, right? It's farther away. They're not friends. It's different kinds of cozy. You can tell that someone in this house grew up in the same house as someone in your house. Like, it's your aunt's house, right? And you see there are some of the same things, right? There's some of it's familiar. But it also feels weird for some reason. Like, it's not comfortable. Like, there's one chair covered in plastic for some reason, and you don't know why, but you assume it's because that's where the dad passes out after he had too much to drink, and they've had to clean the chair too many times to not have it covered in plastic. Does that make sense? Anyway, like, all the patio furniture is, like, broken or bleached by the sun. The swing set is just, like, a wooden post with a cross piece and some rusty chains. I mean, the kids still play on it, but, like, right? It's that's Ohio. And then you get to West Virginia. And West Virginia is like that ravine between neighborhoods where someone has, like, taken a bunch of, like, shots at the no dumping sign, so there's all sorts of holes in it, and then flat out ignored the no dumping sign. So there's toilets and mattresses and buckets. And you can't tell if someone threw that stuff away or if someone tried to move in. That's the sorry. That's the West Virginia I saw. Definitely banjos. But then you get through the mountains and you end up in Virginia. And Virginia is like a Stepford Wives neighborhood, right? Everything, the lawns are a little too manicured. The houses are a little too organized. You know, the whites are too white, the blues are too blue, the flowers are all in bloom. It just, it feels, yes, we take our shoes off. Of course we take our shoes off. But if you don't take your shoes off, don't worry, because this is the rug we get out when we have strangers in the house. Not company, but strangers. You know, so you never quite feel welcome, but you feel like they prepared for you. That's how Virginia felt to me. It might have just been because I watched a bunch of people in a very different tax bracket at a winery get absolutely hammered. And drunk people always make me a little anxious. So, yeah, I don't know, man. And not a designated driver in the bunch, because they all know the guy. They did some legal work for the father of the guy who pulls them over, so he kind of owes them, so they're going to be fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's I'm not saying it's all privilege, but it felt like privilege. Anyway, it was awesome. The wedding was fun. I super congrats, Ellie and Sam. You guys are amazing and wonderful. Sam, it was awesome to meet you. Your Star Wars opinions are garbage, but that's fine. So are mine. We're all a mess. Watch me totally screw this shot up. Ready? I'm going to ricochet. Rick and Shay. Those are my neighbors. They're awesome. I'm kidding. No, my neighbors aren't Rick and Shay. They're Mike and Stephanie. But no, the whole point of me going was for the wedding, and it was great. And I get to go back next year for Maddie and Jacob's wedding. I had not met Sam, nor had I met Jacob, my niece's husband and fiance. Different niece, two nieces, and one husband and one fiance. You guys, I'm not going to explain it. You know what I'm talking about. It's not West Virginia, it's Virginia. So it's purely monogamous. It's fine. But Jacob, delightful young man. Maddie, you chose well. Sam, Star Wars opinions aside, delightful gentleman. Ellie, you chose well. I'm going to tell you guys a secret about our family that you may not know, but the best people in our family all married in. My wife, my stepdad, my brother-in-law, those are the so we're awful, but everyone else is amazing. And also my nieces are amazing. I guess I should say that because I know they watch these videos. Although Ellie might not watch this one because she's on her freaking honeymoon. Pay attention. You're in Jamaica, you know. You got a lot more. Don't be watching YouTube. But tell your friends too. Tell them to like and subscribe and share. So anyway, yeah, it was a 10-hour drive there. Well, actually, it was like an 11-and-a-half-hour drive there because we ignored everyone's advice and we went through the mountains. Holy crap. Hairpin turns, 55 miles an hour, guardrails that had been hastily replaced after the last person tried to go through there at 55 miles an hour, and mountain wind. Mountain wind is a thing. I don't know how it works. I'm not an aerodynamic mountain person. I don't know what the word is. Somebody Google it and find out, what do you call someone who studies wind patterns in the mountains? There's got to be a term for it. But we're very well sheltered. You know, there's a whole freaking mountain to the left. There's trees and mountains eventually to the right, but still somehow, we're surrounded by windbreaks, and there's just massive, unjust wind. Like, it was just so hard, and it was so, like, you know, it said, let me steer your car, and that's super scary. Also, my wife was gasping a lot, which is upsetting, because she thought we were going to die. I didn't think we were going to die, but I was like, if we are, can it happen soon so I don't have to do any more of this? But anyway, once we got through the mountains in West Virginia, it was fine. And then we got into the mountains in Virginia, which was basically the same. So we took a very different path, a very different route on the way back, and then it was 10 hours. So it was nice. We got an Airbnb with my mom and my stepdad and their cat, and it was super fun. We had a very nice time. Very nice time. We went to a little restaurant where it was like packed full of dudes in MAGA hats and camouflage, and I was afraid. my stepdad was gonna get in a fight, and I was gonna have to like either help him or be very like intimidating, so they, all walked away from each other, because I can't fight, nor am I intimidating. But my stepdad, 74 years old, would have 100% not hesitated to throw fists. He's just, that's how he is. And he would have thought I would have had his back. He would have assumed, like, without hesitation, oh yeah, Matt's got it. Matt'll be here. He's gonna jump in and he's gonna help. No, absolutely not. I would have cried a lot probably, but and gotten beat up as a result. Anyway, but it was funny because we walk in and there they are. There are probably 20 of these guys throughout the place, and there I stand with my pink shoelaces, my big open earlobe earrings, all punk rock and everything, and a Rainbow Ally t-shirt on. Yeah, it was very clear to them that we didn't have a lot in common. So I did what I always do in that situation. I pushed my sleeves up to show off my tattoos, because that always seems to send the message of, are you sure you want to do this? And then I stroked my beard and I glared. Not at them. I glared at the people I was with, because I wanted them to know I love these people and I'm still not willing to put up with their crap. They don't ever give me any crap. They're all delightful, except my sister was there. And you guys, I'm not going to talk bad about my sister. I won't do it, because I did it all weekend and I don't need to have that on record. So that was fun. I was hoping that I would be already done with this whole dang it, so that I could move on. This is one of those holes that's deceptively difficult. No, so we were at a vineyard in Barbersville. I think it was called the Barbersville Vineyard. And it was very nice, very elegant, very I think I said nice already. I'm going to use that word again. It was nice. I don't drink wine. It's not a hobby I have ever mastered. And people love to tell me, "Oh, it's because you haven't had the right kind." Well, you tell me what the right kind is. I've had lots of different kinds. I've not memorized what they're called. I don't know Cabernet and Merlot. I don't know what those are. I know they're wines. I don't care what color they are. It's not something I enjoy. I'm 46 years old. I feel like if there was a right wine, at some point I would have found it, but I haven't. I don't like wine. No, there's no right kind of wine for me. I just don't like it. So thank you for respecting my tastes. I run into that a lot when I'm with wine drinkers. They just are convinced that I just haven't had the right. It's like, I hate country music. Oh, that's just because you haven't given it a chance. Oh, no. No. My mother's family are hillbillies. My dad's family are rednecks. I live in Indiana. I don't like basketball. I don't like country music. And I'm not a Republican. Not because I haven't found the right candidate or I haven't, no, I just don't. I don't like those things. This is an educated decision that I've made. It's not out of ignorance that I'm here. Sorry. Did I sound bitter? I'm not. I love everyone. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are amazing and incredible. I think we got about 3 more of these videos in us, right? That'll get us to the whole 10,000. We're making all sorts of headway. Thank you guys. Also, hey, if you're one of my 4 new subscribers, yeah, I know I got 4 new subscribers over the weekend. Great. Maybe I should stop making videos more often. Thank you so much. I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy the videos that you see. This one was more of a me trying to get back into it kind of thing, which is sad because 3 more videos and I will take a break from making videos again. But stick around because there's lots of videos. All right, that's all. I love you guys to death, and I'll see you in the next one. So long, goodbye, and stuff.